Welcome, 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 everyone. This is We Are Five Fifths. It's 10:30, it's 10:11 at night. And yeah, those of you who see the title, this is a little different content right here. You know, those of you who see the title, this content's a little different. And that's for one reason and one reason only. I don't really like talking about this subject, to be honest, because I don't really know how to talk about this without making it seem like I'm glorifying it. But on the behalf of my subscribers, because I've been asked by more than one subscriber more than one time to bring up this subject, to talk about some of the stories I have. So, what better way than to start with my first time in prison? My very first time. We're not talking about when I was 15, 14, 13, being locked up in detention centers. That's not going to count. We're not going to count no detention centers. Since I've been asked by more than one subscriber more than one time to talk about it, that's why this is in the title. So this is what it is. So I'm not just gonna give you just a straight prison story. I'm gonna give you the story of how I got arrested to get into the prison story. So first, I was about 15. I just came out of the detention center about a few weeks before I turned 16. So I was 15 going on 16. It was it was the winter of 1996, like early in the year, the first quarter. So, anyways, I come out of the detention center. It's snowing, it's cold. I go steal me a car. 15 years old. I go steal a car. I'm with two older people. I'm with two older guys. I'm 15. No, I'm 16. Yeah, well, now I'm 16. Because I came out, I kept the car for like 3 weeks. My birthday had passed. So now I'm 16 years old and I'm driving in this stolen car with two older people. I'm 16, one is 18, and the other gentleman is 19. The other two guys. One is 18, one is 19, I'm 15. Salute, Stacy. So I'm in a stolen car, whatever, we driving. I pull up to one of my friend's house, I go cop some bud and shit. And while I'm in my friend's house, the police, I guess, pulled up in the driveway and blocked the car. Mind you, I'm inside. The other two people I'm with are in the car. You know what I mean? So I didn't see them until when I stepped out because the way the angle is of the house and the back door, couldn't see the driveway. So I step out the house, the cop hem me up, I get arrested, whatever. It's a weekday, so they hold you overnight. You go to court the next day. This is my first arrest as an adult, right? Because in my state, at 16, you get an inmate number. If you got an inmate number, you an adult. If you got an inmate number, that shit follows you for the rest of your life. So I called my inmate number at 16. I was probably like 2.5 weeks after turning 16. Like I'm fresh 16. Not even 30 days. Not even 30 days of 16. I'm already locked up with because I ended up fighting the cops. I had drugs. I had all kinds of shit. I ended up catching like 6, 7 felonies my first time. You know what I mean? So I'm in there, whatever. We spend that night in there. Next morning we go to court. We're in the bullpen. They call the other two dudes before me, right? So the other two dudes don't come back. So mind you, I'm young. I'm 16. The other two dudes I got arrested with. They got court. They got called to see the judge before me. I just thought that they were being kept in like a different bullpen to go to the county. So that end up calling my case. There's somebody in my town that got like a similar name to me, but he's like 9 years older than me. So they pulled his file by mistake, found out that he was doing like 12 years. So it took a while for them to call my case. So my case was one of the last ones to be called. So they called my case at the end, whatever. You know what I mean? They upped my bond even higher, whatever. So I go to the county and I'm on a chain gang. And I noticed that the two people I got arrested, which are adults, went home. Later on, I found out that the dudes told on me, but at the time, I didn't know. I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So whatever, I make it to the county, I get my MA number, whatever. Bunch of wild shit happening in the county, because they got youth tiers over there. So what I mean by youth tier is that they put it's cell blocks. You don't. I mean, there's only like a few dorms in the county where I'm at. Ain't that many dorms. There's more cell blocks than dorms. So they got the youths in the cell blocks. So I'm in the cell blocks. Whatever. I'm going to court back and forth for like 5, 6 months, something like that. Yeah, I was going to court for 6 months, but I ended up taking time, and I ended up taking a total of like a year and 3 months or some shit like that. On my first time, I didn't get no YO, I didn't get no AR, I didn't get no break, I didn't get no probation, I didn't get no nothing. I got locked up. I mean, I went to prison. So now around my way, there's this place called Banton Youth Institution, MYI, right? But in my days, at this time, I didn't know what it was called. At this time, that prison was called Gladiator School. So I know it as for Gladiator School. I didn't know what it was called. You know what I mean? So now this is straight youths. If you got a real violent crime and you 15, you can go there and they can hold you up to 23, right? So now I get to MYI. They transfer me. I get there like at 4:30, 3:30 in the morning, something like that. Because breakfast is like at 4:45. They start chow. They call it chow. Right? That's a whole other thing. We could get into that another time. But first chow starts like 4:45, 5 in the morning. I got to this prison before first chow. So I get to the prison. For starters, I don't find this out. Excuse me, I'm lighting up blunt. So now I don't find out to the next day that it's all cottages. A through it goes to J. So there's 10 cottages, right? And I think there's an 11th, but I never made it to that one. That's like outside clearance. That's somewhere different. I never got to see that one. Shout out to Lazo. So, right. So you've been waiting. All right. So now I'm telling the first story that I got locked up. You got into a good spot because I already did the court shit. Now I'm getting to the prison at 16 and I'm actually convicted. It's my first time getting arrested as an adult. I didn't get no AR, I didn't get no YO, I didn't get no program. I got sent to prison. The two people I got arrested with, I was 16. I got arrested with an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old. After I copped out, I found out that they told on me. I mean, my first case, the two adults I was with snitched on me, and I ended up doing the jail time for a stolen car, fighting cops. I had drugs on me, all kinds of shit, right? So, anyways, I get to this cottage in MYI, right? So I get there. They don't give you your property off rip. They give you sheets and shit, but you don't get your property. So I get there. I'm making my bed. My celly's already up. It's breakfast time. So I make my bed. My celly asking me, "Yo, you gonna eat breakfast?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with that." The nigga closed the door. So cause mind you, we in cells. So let me give you a little bit of backdrop. MYI is ran 23-1. What that means is 23 hours of the day you're in a cell, 1 hour you out. If you if you get in trouble, they start taking it by half an hour, and I stayed in trouble. So I was always 23 and a half and a half. You know what I mean? But at this time, I'm not. It's my first day. So my celly closes the door, bang. Niggas start fighting in front of my cell, right? Some nigga that's 2 cells over stabbed some nigga in his face right in front of my cell. You know what I mean? So now let me give you a backdrop on that. The nigga that was talking mad shit, he was like a pedophile, I don't know his exact charge, but I think it was something like statutory rape type of thing. Like he was fucking somebody younger than him and he was only about 16, but I think he was locked up for fucking like a 13-year-old, some weird shit. So whatever. Them niggas is arguing. The nigga that did the stabbing, The one that got stabbed, he was like the pedophile type of thing, statutory rape nigga. The one that stabbed him was going home that morning. Think about that. You arguing with a nigga at breakfast time at 4:35 in the morning, you know what I mean? And you're set to go home on parole at 10 a.m. But at 5 in the morning, you're stabbing somebody in the face. This is the first thing I see. 16 years old. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Mind you, I'm not racist. I'm not like that. So I got a black celly later on that day. I had to beat my celly up. My celly at the door screaming at niggas across the tier, calling them dirty spics. So I had to fuck my celly up. You know what I mean? So mind you, after I beat up my celly, we fighting and shit. The COs come, they take us to the hole. For those of you who don't know, that's called segregation. For those of you who don't know, the segregation is like where you go for punishment. They put you in a cell by yourself. And me, since I was hard headed, I was acting up, I was spitting on COs, all kinds of wild shit. I end up in the cell with just underwears, with no sheets, no mattress, no nothing. These niggas leave the lights on 24 hours. It's cold as fuck. So I go to the disciplinary board. I mean, it's called the DR board. I mean, disciplinary board is their version of court. Whenever you get tickets, discipline, you go there. They. It's like a court system. They discuss your punishment. You can have a you can have a representative, all kinds. It's like their penal system. It's for their. You know what I mean, so I ended up getting like 3 weeks in the hole and like 120 days no visits, 120 days no commissary, 120 days no phone. Everything was 120 days, my nigga. So bien apagado. For those who don't understand, turned off like nothing. I got nothing. I'm fucked up when I come out of SEG, right? So, mind you, I'm in MY, I'm in Gladiator School. When I do come out of SEG, I'm gonna give you right now, I'm gonna tell you a little black drop. When you come out of the hole after a long period of time, it almost feels like you're being free. Salute, Laim. So when you're coming out of segregation, out of the hole, out of punishment, to going back into population, you almost get the sensation of like they're opening the doors for you to go home. It's some weird shit, right? So whatever, I get out of the hole, I go back. Now I'm in the ticket block now. It's called the ticket cottage. It's where you come out of. You got to stay in this cottage for like no less than 90 days, but no more than 120. You know what I mean? You have no privileges there. It's all fucked up. So I make it to the punishment cottage. I'm in the ticket block, and then they tell me now my whole shit is fucked up. Because this is when I learned this shit. When you go to prisons, you usually do like an intake pod. They do the intake. But when I went to the MYI, the shit was full. So they didn't put me in the intake pod. They didn't put me in the intake cottage. They put me in another cottage. They put me what they call as the ghetto, where a lot of niggas be wilding and that kind of shit. And I wasn't even there for a long time and got in a fight. A false sense of freedom. Exactly, Lazo. Exactly. So when I'm out of SAG, I'm in a ticket block. They start calling me counselors and shit, and then they start realizing that I was in the wrong spot. There's a lot of shit happening. I didn't do the intake. I was just being hard headed, getting into trouble in prison, all kinds of shit. I mean, there's gangs left and right. I know mad people down with gangs. So now I'm in the hood. I'm in the ghetto, as they call it. I got a celly. I'm 16. My celly's 19, mind you. Excuse me. I got this L burning. So mind you, it's 1996. Right? I'm 16 years old. I'm in gladiator school. I'm on punishment, so I'm 23 and a half, right? Now I got this new celly. Guess what, y'all? My celly just under 20. He about 18, 19. I think he's 19. I want to say he was 19. This motherfucker was sentenced to 69 years in prison. 69. I guess they gave him 75, but he got it brought back to 69 or 60, some shit like that. White dude, 20 years old. They gave him some sort of like, I guess he killed his parents. Right? They gave him like, that's what it was. They gave him 75 years. They gave him 20 for his mother, 20 for his father, and they gave him 35 years for killing the dog. He killed his parents and his dog. And they gave him 35 years for killing the dog. And then I guess he got it pushed back to 60, which basically, if you average it out, they gave him 20 a body. 20 for his mother, 20 for his father, 20 for the dog. Mind you, this dude ain't even 20 years old. So I'm in prison with this motherfucker. He in my cell with me. You know what I mean? I'm 16. It's mind you, I had already did detention centers. I had did all that, but this is a different story now. We in prison. I mean, this ain't no jail. It's just prison, bro. My motherfuckers doing time. So the nigga next to me never coming home in my cell. The cell over from me is this dude from the city called New Haven. He was doing about 17 years for shooting a couple people. I think he was like 17. The dude next to on my other side of my cell, he was doing about 30 years. I think he killed somebody in his hood. He was from Bridgeport. You know what I mean? Just I was. It's like when you hard headed in the streets and you hard headed in prison, that shit just. I mean, you end up with the worst of the worst. So I'm in there with these niggas. We gambling. We playing spades. You know. We playing blackjack. You know. We jailing, as they say. So I get to talking to these niggas and shit, and then that's how I start figuring out how much time they got, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Damn, my nigga, you don't even seem like that type of motherfucker. Like, these niggas seem cool as a fan. Like, these niggas is mellow. They not on some, you know what I mean? You would never think that these motherfuckers is never coming out of prison. So now I'm in there with these shit. I'm in there with this shit, right? I got this white dude as my celly. Some black dude comes in there. This nigga got like, I think he had like 22 years. I think this motherfucker was from Bridgeport too, but he had a problem with my celly. I don't know if they had history. I don't know what it was. But nah, it wasn't in Bristol. It was next to there. It's called Cheshire. This town called Cheshire. It's not far from where ESPN is. But so the black dude come in, he got a problem with my celly. Black dude get me to the door. He hollering at me, asking me that when child pops, if I'm if he come in my cell and beat my celly up. And I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Hell no, ain't I with that. Fuck you mean if I'm if you run in my cell, nigga? I'm gonna look like a bitch letting you run in my cell. I don't care if the problem is with my celly or not. Cause you know, in prison, if you give a nigga an inch, he gonna take a mile. You can't give nothing up. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta stand on the morals and principles till you die. You know what I mean? And now I'm not no gang member. I'm not with the following orders shit. So I'm not no gang member. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I know a bunch of gang members on all different sets, and I'm a real nigga, so niggas fuck with me. You know what I mean? My whole thing was always against the police. So, anyways, I asked this motherfucker, like, yo, what the fuck is your problem with my celly anyway? Like, he don't be in here fucking with nobody. He be, you know what I mean? Like, this nigga quiet to himself type shit. Then this nigga tells me that my celly, I guess when them niggas was in the box, when it was in SEG, when they was in the hole, I guess my celly was calling him a nigger with a hard ER. It's the first time I ever heard that word like that. What I mean by phrased like that. He's the first person that said it to me. He was like, my nigga, he called me a nigga with the hard ER. It's the first time I ever heard somebody referring it to with the hard ER. That's why that shit stuck with me. And I was like, what? And just coincidentally, I'm like, what? I looked at my celly. I'm like, man, listen, man, do what the fuck you gotta do, B. I don't give a fuck. And just coincidentally, the minute I said that, doors popped. It was wreck time. Crazy shit, nigga. These niggas got it. This nigga came in my cell. He looked at me. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I closed the door. Boom. I had a front row seat, nigga. I sat down on the sink and watched this nigga beat the shit out my celly, bro. I was laughing my ass off. It was like, I mean, granted, it was probably some fucked up shit, but it was funny to me at the moment. You know what I mean? So now, whatever, shit happens. The doors pop again after wreck. The nigga bounces. I tell my celly, you better not say shit to nobody. You know how this shit go. You know what I mean? So it's like, my celly next morning, suck ass nigga, breakfast time came. This bitch ass nigga went to the CO and checked in. You know what I mean? With the checked in, nigga packed up. You know what I mean? So with those of you who don't know, that's jail slang. That's prison slang for the nigga went to PC. You know what I mean? Nigga packed this shit up and went to PC. So that nigga leaves. They put another nigga in my cell. This nigga doing like 18 and a half years. I think he killed his best friend. Yeah, this nigga was from Hartford. He killed his best friend. Now he about 22. He been in jail since he was 17. I mean, I don't remember if he got sentenced to 18 or if he had 18 years left. It was one of the two, right? Oh, shout out Carlos. Carlos talking about over here. Brother Tito Miami and myself talk behind the scenes. And as of today, we squashed our beef. Thank you to you and your wife for getting us to talk and push and put it behind us. That's what's up, Carlos. You should remember, man. You should always. I'm gonna put a pin in that story. I'm gonna come right back to that. Remember, Carlos. Shout out to you and shout out to Tito Miami, man. You an adult. He's an adult. Y'all should always be able to sit down and conversate because I be trying to tell people a lot of people's issues on YouTube be a lot of miscommunication. People just don't want to sit down and talk. You know what I mean? And I can say that with a clear conscience because some people, when in my life, the way I grew up, when you pass a certain line, there is no return. I'm sorry, can't fix it. You know what I mean? But y'all ain't get that far. You know what I mean? That's why I try to tell everybody who listens to me, who watches me, any other person with a channel, I tell everybody, if you got a problem with French Dose, go square with that nigga. Cause what he did to me, he totally disrespected me. And in real life, ain't nobody disrespected me like that. So I can't. What he did, there's no I'm sorry's that can fix that. But if you feel like your relationship is salvageable, your friendship is salvageable, then go fix that. I don't never stop nobody from talking to that man. That's why I'm gonna tell you to talk to that man and fix your problems. Because as adults, that's what you should do. But as an adult, you got to take accountability for your actions when it comes to me and that man. So that's why it don't matter how many times he apologize, he can't fix that. He was talking about raping, abusing. That's not. But I'm glad that y'all two were able to fix that. Salute, Tazo. So now back to the story. So now the black dude beat up my white celly that was doing 60 years. They ship him out. I get a new celly. Like I said, I don't remember if he only had 18 years left or if he got sentenced to 18. Because he's about 20. I'm 16. Mind you, I told you, in the youth system out here, they could get you from 16 and the longest they can hold you to is 23. But now if you in there and you acting up, they can always ship you to the big prison at any time. So now my new Sally, he got about 18 left or whatever. My new Sally, this big ass Puerto Rican nigga. This nigga like, I don't know. I don't want to call him racist because he hated Puerto Ricans too. Like it was weird, yo. He hated black people, Spanish people, white people. It was some weird shit, yo. This nigga was just weird. So this dude ended up being on some fuck shit. Right? Shout out to David. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments, yo. So check it. So now peep the flash shit, Lazo. Peep the flash shit. So now I got this Sally doing 18. He got 18 years left or he doing 18 joints. I mean, I got a year. I got sentenced to a year and 2 months. I'm 16. He about 20. You know what I mean? Now, out of this year and 2 months I took, which is 14 months in total, when I got sentenced, I had been locked up almost 7 months already. So, you know what I'm saying? And my shit was violent. So I had to bring it almost all the way anyway. So now my Sally, this nigga almost crashed. So mind you, This nigga, my celly get on some real like rah rah shit. So mind you, when I'm in prison, I be on some bullshit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm in prison smoking weed. Sorry, loud ass car just went by. So I be in prison on the bullshit. I be in there smoking weed. I don't give a fuck about parole. I don't care about none of that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm in there on the bullshit. I'm smoking my weed and my fucking celly. He on some bitch shit. This nigga like crying that the cell smell like weed. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck, man? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Hey, nigga, you got like 18 joints and you worried about some weed? Get the fuck out of here. You fucking with me. So, mind you, this nigga bigger than me, yo. Big ass Spanish nigga. I don't know this Puerto Rican nigga. I ain't care if I knew him or not. Like you do your time your way, I do my time my way. So mind you, I don't know how it is in your states, but in my state, you can buy your own TV. You can buy your own CD player. Well, back then it was Walkmans. They didn't have CD players. Yeah, I mean the Game Boys where I just came out. So I got my TV. I got all this shit. I mean he got all his shit, and this nigga just got on some real rah rah shit. I mean, so me, mind you, when I was younger, I wasn't as thin as I am now. Like when I was 16, like I was like 350. You know what I mean? 340. I know most of y'all right now is like, damn. Yeah, like I was big. Like it took me a long time to lose this weight. I lost this weight running in prison when I got older in my 20s, but 16, I'm big. You know what I mean? So this nigga kept crying about the weed smell. I was like, motherfucker, and I told this nigga in Spanish, motherfucker, you got a problem with this shit, fucking handle it. The nigga tried to stand up. When the nigga was standing up, he stood up. The nigga was, how do you say, how do you call it? Posting up. No, he got in his fighting stance, put his hands up. Once that nigga put his hands up, I cracked that nigga. You know what I mean? I cracked that nigga. I banged his head against the table. I took his TV and busted him upside his head with his own television. You know what I'm saying? Some retarded shit. Went back to the set. So mind you, I wasn't even out of SAG 2 weeks, and I'm going back. So now I'm learning in prison that they have this thing called chronic discipline. If you catch, there's three types of tickets: Class A, Class B, Class C. You don't really hear Class D's. If you catch 3 Class A's in 3 months, or a combination of 2 Class A's and a B, or 1 Class A and 2 B's in 90 days, you go to chronic discipline. And over there, I got there and another bit is worse, right? So now they're explaining this shit to me. I don't give a fuck. I'm hard headed. Talking to the warden. He's trying to tell me this. I'm telling the warden to suck my dick. You know what I mean? I didn't care. So now I get out. Niggas sentenced me to 3 weeks in SAG. I get out. I'm out. I get back to the ghetto. Now, this is the first time that I came across the suck my dick scenario. What's up, Bonnie? How are you doing? So now it's still 1996. I'm in prison. I'm 16. I had a few cellies that, were doing 20 years and more. One of them I think he had more than 18, honestly. I think he had got sentenced to 23 and he had already been down for 5. So I think he had 18 left. And then the other one got his shit knocked back to 60 years. So whatever. So I get out the box. I'm back in the ghetto. So they put me back in the ghetto. This time, these motherfuckers did some retarded shit, man. I really like this weed up because, again, I'm not glorifying. This ain't for glorification. I don't even feel right talking about this shit. I feel dumb as fuck right now talking about this shit. Because I feel like I'm just verbalizing how much loser shit I've been in, that I went through as a child when other people were learning how to drive. And because I had been driving and selling drugs since I was a little ass kid. You know what I mean? I was out there selling crack when I was like 8, 9 years old, 10 years old. I was already in the projects selling drugs. You know what I mean? So it's like, and again, it's no glorification. So now I get out the box. I'm back in the ghetto. They put me in the cell this time with a motherfucker from around my way. Not only is he from around my way, this motherfucker be in the projects that I be in. It's fucking retarded shit. Like, what? I ain't seen this nigga in like 3 years because he had been locked up. I was like, damn, when I walk in the cell, I'm like, motherfucker, what the fuck happened to you, nigga? Because I went from seeing this nigga to never seeing him again. And then he told me that the day I was with him, that he went to go peel off. He told me he went to go make a sale. In actuality, he went to go rob something and he got caught. I guess the nigga he was making a sale to was an undercover cop and he was robbing the nigga. So his charge ended up being robbing an undercover cop. Ain't that a bitch? You think it's some nigga buying a whole bunch of drugs off you. You young. You know, we was young. Because he at the time, I was 15, he was 6. He was like a year older than me, a little bit less. So he telling me he going to hit a lick, but in actuality, the nigga was getting set up by the police, but he didn't know. So the nigga showed him the money. The nigga pulled out the banger and he tried to rob the nigga and ended up being the police on some weird shit. So I get in there, I'm like, nigga, what the fuck happened? And now he pulls out all his paperwork. Exactly. So he pulled out all this paperwork and then I'm reading this shit and I'm like, damn, nigga, the nigga was a cop. He was like, he basically, he's Puerto Rican, so he was like, cabron, like basically like motherfucker, like my nigga. If I would have thought that nigga was a cop, I would have never tried to rob. That's how he got so much time. Because if it was just a cell, he probably would have only got like 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? But instead, they gave the nigga like 11 years at 16, 11 years. Imagine that. You getting sentenced to almost the entirety of your life that you've been alive. You're 16 years old and they give you 11. You only been on the earth 16 years. So imagine that. So I'm in there with this nigga, we wilding, we smoking weed, you know, we up there bugging. So this nigga get in a fight, they ship him up to the prison. I don't see him on this bed again. So now I'm there, I'm chilling. They left me in a cell by myself for like 2 days. I was loving it. I was loving it. It's some weird shit, man. I'm in there loving it. So my visits come back, right? So now the 120, everything is done. My visit come, now I get my first visit. My father come to see me. Mind you, my father is the straight, how do you say? I'm a street nigga. My father wasn't. My father, I didn't see my father to be in the streets. I noticed my father to be working, you know, hard working man, and I wasn't shit that I wanted. My father couldn't afford. You know, my father was a straight E80 citizen man, and you couldn't tell him shit. If a cop pulled you up, ain't gonna arrest you back then, right? So now they sent my nigga up to the big prison. So now I'm sitting there for a couple of days. My father comes to see me. My father's like, yo, I came to see you a couple of times. They told me you was in trouble. He's like, yo, what the fuck? You come to prison because you in trouble out there. He's like, my father goes, I'm whooping your ass every day of your life because you getting in trouble in school, you getting in trouble outside, you getting in trouble in the store, you getting in trouble in your aunts and uncles. Everywhere you go, you in trouble. I was just bad. I was legit just bad. You know what I mean? So, and my father used to beat me. I'm talking about straight up. It got to the point that there were days when I was older, my father, well, when I was younger, rather, my bad, before I was 16, there were days when my father would just get out of work, come home, and just beat me. For his brain, I mean, in my brain, I'd be like, it's for no reason because he didn't get no phone call, but I was just so bad that my father knew I did something and just didn't get caught. And looking back today, he was right because every time he beat me, even on the days that he didn't have proof to beat me, I was doing shit wrong. I just didn't get caught. So mind you, yeah, exactly as those civilian. So now my father, he's in their prison and he's looking around because mind you, I'm the firstborn out here. My mother came from Puerto Rico with me pregnant. You know what I mean? So my brothers, my sisters, my parents, a lot of my cousins, everybody born in Puerto Rico. I'm like the first one born out here, my direct bloodline. I got a bunch of other cousins that are a little bit older than me that were born out here, yes, but their direct bloodline came to the States, to the connect the United States before mine. In other words, like their parents came, but my mother and father were still in Puerto Rico type shit. So A lot of my, a lot of my, not for boasting, I'm not glorifying, but a lot of my family is drug dealers and killers. It is what it is. A lot of them niggas been in prison. Got cousins that been in prison for extortion, money laundering, fucking um, what's that shit? What the fuck was this nigga locked up for? I forget what it's called. Damn it. Damn it. I forget what it's called, man. He was running a criminal organization there. I forget what it's right. It's like it's not a kingpin charge, it's under the kingpin charge. Racketeering, they get this nigga racketeering. Like I got cousins that have racketeering charges, all kinds of piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's just mad shit. I got mad family in the feds, just mad shit. So, anyways, back to the story. So I'm in the cell for like 2 days. My father couldn't see me. My father never been in prison. He never experienced this shit. So he looking at this shit. He like, yo, you a man. I can't say nothing to you. My father's straight civilian. He like, shit, this prison shit look crazy. And then I'm telling him all the stories, and he like, my father just giving me the look like I just disappointed everything. Because mind you, my father was real good at baseball. Real good, real good. Like I was really good in baseball. You know what I mean? But you know, for the love of that money, man. So now, my father, on my first visit, I'm my father's only child, biologically. So now, my first visit, my father trying to tell me he want to come see me every week, and at least once a week, this and this and that. He want to try to, you know, talk some sense in me, try to make that my first and my last. That shit didn't work, but I salute him for trying. You know what I mean? Excuse me, I'm eating some Welch's fruit snacks. You know them gummy joints. So sorry for all that chewing noise. So my father, oh, and I'm drinking a pineapple aloe. It's just aloe bean drinks, pieces of aloe, fruit drink. I got a pineapple joint. It's banging. So embezzlement. Nah, embezzlement is something different, brother. Embezzlement is one of my mayors got locked up for embezzlement. Actually, yeah, one of my mayors got locked up with embezzlement to do with the shit with the Foxborough Stadium getting built. Because back in the day, the New England Patriots were supposed to come to Connecticut, and another part of the reason why I hate the Patriots, the owner Robert Kraft said he was only using Connecticut as a bargaining chip. He never wanted to come here, and that's how he got Foxborough built. That's how he manipulated Massachusetts to get Foxborough built, that new stadium. And then a little bit after that, our mayor, or our governor, my bad, the governor got arrested for embezzlement for like $50 million that had to do with that Robert Kraft shit. But embezzlement, you fucking with money, legal money. That's legal money. It's more like racketeering and shit. Like yeah, Rico, that's racketeering, that type of shit. But anyways, so my father's ironing out this plan to try to see me and all this shit. So I get back to my cell. I got another cellie, right? I had this cellie for approximately like, because now, so now mind you, I'm on punishment. We're in the ticket block. Right? But now on top of that punishment, I'm on punishment. So they had already put me on 23 and a half. I said that earlier. But now I had got into an argument. I got into some shit. Remember, I went back to the box. I told the warden to suck my dick. So now they made my shit 23 and 3/4. So I only got 15 minutes out the cell every day. That's it. 15 minutes. So now my rec time passed when I was in my visit. You know what I mean? So the CO didn't have to, but he allowed me to come back and take a shower. So I get back to my cell. I grab my shower shoes and shit. I go take a shower. While I'm in the shower, my celly arguing with another nigga. This is what I was talking about, to suck my dick shit. First time Maselli arguing with this nigga. I'm in the shower. I'm getting in the shower. The first time Maselli say it to this nigga, Maselli tell this dude, no, he's at the time he the oldest nigga in the cottage. This nigga like 22. This nigga doing 82 years. This nigga killed like 5 people in this town. I don't know what town he was from. I didn't know dude. I just knew that he had almost 100 years. And he got sentenced at like 18 for some shit that he did at 15. And he almost got 100 years. And you know what I mean? When you in the mind, when you in the youth prison, there's somebody walking around with 100 years, almost 100 years. That nigga sticks the fuck out. Trust me. You know what I mean? Everybody know who that nigga is. This ain't no big prison where everybody's adults and there's like 10,000 people. It's not that scenario. You know what I mean? This is a youth spot. It's not even 1,000 people. It's maybe 500 max, maybe. You know what I mean? It's not 1,000, but there's one fucking kid in there with 85 fucking joints. You know what I mean? Almost 100 joints. You know what I mean? So mind you, my new Sully, he's only been there not even an hour. This nigga's telling this other nigga to suck his dick. So the nigga with the 85 years is like, nigga, you don't tell no grown man to suck your dick, little nigga. That's some gay shit. Especially in prison, because you know men are visual. So for you to tell another man to suck your dick, you literally visualizing that man putting his mouth on your dick. That's some gay shit. To invite a man to your dick. I mean, so these niggas is getting rowdy. Hold up a second. Let me read this comment. Did anyone else hear about the Trump getting a tax return of 72.9 million? How in the hell does a person worth billions get a tax returns? That's why he's worth billions, because his tax return is like that. But now check it. So now this nigga's telling this motherfucker to suck his dick. This nigga's telling him, yo, you don't tell grown men to do that. That's not what a grown man does. You know, only bitches suck dick. You don't want no grown man sucking your dick, especially in prison. You don't see no shit like that. So I hear all this while I'm putting my towel and shit where it's supposed to go. I'm turning on the water. I'm getting in the water. Mind you, I only got 15 minutes. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this nigga was going somewhere. I don't know what happened. All I know is that the nigga doing 85 years, his cell popped. I'm in the shower. I don't know what happened, but his cell popped. This nigga, mind you, because I'm in the shower, so my cell door open. This nigga ran in my cell and stabbed my cellie up. Jigged him the fuck up. My cellie died in the cell, everything. Some wild shit. Some wild shit. Mind you, I'm a fucking kid. Like, some wild shit. Like, I got hella stories like this whole life. So like I got mad stories. Like I was in a supermax and I watched this nigga that's doing life beat the shit out of this fucking CO, beat the shit out of her, dragged her in a cell, all kinds of shit. Like I've been in a prison where they were executing somebody. Matter of fact, I was locked up in the prison when the last person in Connecticut got executed. I was in segregation because that's where the execute him is where the segregation, how do you say it? Where the execution chamber is located, where segregation is right next to each other. You know what I mean? Some wild shit. Nigga named Rico Ross. But anyways, so this nigga stabbed up my celly. If I believe correctly, I think he died. You know what I mean? Some wild shit. Over telling a nigga to suck your dick. Right? 3 days later. This shit is back to back, my nigga. 3 days later, a fucking gang fight happens. It's all black people, all black dudes. It's 2 different gangs from 2 different towns. One nigga told another nigga to suck his dick, and it was a gang war through the whole prison. A gang war, because one nigga told another nigga to suck his dick, and it was a gang war. Some wild shit, and that's where my lesson came from with the sucking dick shit. You know what I mean? Because I seen niggas get poked up. I seen a war happen. I seen a nigga, yo, back then it was metal trays. Now they don't give you metal trays. Back then I watched this nigga, right? During the gang war, I watched this nigga slap that shit out of somebody else with a metal tray right in his face. Blah! Mind you, I'm 16 watching all this shit. You know what I mean? I'm 16 in prison with motherfuckers that are never coming out. You know what I mean? Just to give you a little bit of a better frame when I came out from doing that bid. No bullshit. Right before I went in for that bid, let me give you a little bit of time frame here. Try to again, this is not glorification. This is just to help people understand my background. You was popping. Damn, bro, that's fucking crazy. Yo, nigga, check this shit out. Lazo, you talking about this? Check this shit out. So now I'm gonna tell you right what happened right before I stole the car. Cause I was in there for a stolen car. I got 14 months for a stolen car when I was 16 years old, seeing all this crazy shit. Right? So now right before I get locked up for the stolen car, Lazo, check peep the fly shit, as you like to hear. My god brother, I'm 15 now. So I have did the detention at 15. I came home. I was home for about 3 weeks to a month before I got locked up for the stolen car. But in that 3 weeks to a month, right? Beat the fly shit. I got a god brother. My god brother. Those of you who don't know what a god brother is when you get baptized, the parents that baptize you is their kid. That's your god brother or sister. So my god brother, I'm 15. My god brother's 16. He's like 9 months older than me. He's just under a year older than me. This nigga goes to jail for killing 4 people. Like, I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. You know what I mean? But he gets locked up for killing 4 people. He killed the whole family. Killed the mother, a father, their kid, and somebody else. You know what I mean? Because over some drug shit, you know, he took a kilo from it, and these niggas smoked the whole kilo. And these are some rich white people. They owned the dealership and everything. And the nigga went over there to pick something up. The bitch took a big ass hit of crack, blew it in his face, said he wasn't getting shit. Nigga went in the bathroom, loaded up the 357, killed everybody in the house. You know what I mean? My god brother got sentenced to 100 years. You know what I mean? They gave him 100 years at 16. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, while this gang war is happening, I see my nigga. I'm in the same cottage as him, but now these cottages got 3 wings, but he in another wing. You know what I mean? So I don't really get to see him too much. You know what I mean? Carlos Smith, DJ KSO. You should keep doing podcasts with wife, man. I think people like that energy. I dig it. But this is just because, you know, people were asking me about some prison shit, and she don't know nothing about that life. She don't live that life. She's a civilian all the way. She's not into the street shit. She don't like street shit. So this is a story about me being in prison as a kid. So, you know, but I appreciate that energy. Thank you. But I don't know who DJ KSO is. But anyways, no disrespect. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Shout out to everybody watching. So yeah, like I said, my god brother killed 4 people, got 100 years he caught the bodies when he was 15, but he got sentenced when he was 16, about to be 17. And he got to knock back now to 75 years, but this was back in 96, 97. He got sentenced to that, and he's still locked up. You know what I mean? So I'm in there, I see this nigga. Right when I see him, I'm like, oh shit, his name was Killer. Coincidentally, he ended up killing 4 people after that, but his name was Killer. I'm like, yo, Killer. The nigga look at me, I'm like, yo. Once I say yo, the nigga right in front of me smacked the nigga right behind him with the metal tray in the face. Blah! I was like, oh shit, this nigga's whole shit split. Whole, like, 3 of his front teeth on the top fell out. I was like, yo, these niggas is wilding. Yo, it was literally gladiator school. And like I said, I'm not trying to boast, but like I was in there wilding, man. I was fighting, smoking mad weed, and honestly, I think that helped me. That helped me to begin that cycle of being in prison for the rest of my life. Because at an early age, growing up poor, I understood that my mind could go mad places that my body couldn't. So when I was in there, you know, you'll hear this saying, you're either gonna do the time or the time is gonna do you. You know what I mean? So when I was in there and I spent all that time in SAG and shit, segregation in the home, you could write it in the chat, brother. So then the whole time in the segregation and in the hole, I think that's what helped me become mentally strong. Because when you in prison and you in a cell all day and you getting your food through this little hole in the door and you spending your Christmases and your Thanksgivings and your New Year's and your birthdays like that, you should have been in school. You know what I mean? And then you figure out ways how to have fun. You figure out ways. You start fighting people for fun. You start gambling for fun. You start running up in niggas' cells, beating them up for fun. You start running up in niggas' cells, taking a commissary. Like you have no idea how many people I ran in their cells and took their TVs and slammed them, broke their shit. You have no idea, like, cause I don't like bullies. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of bullies in prison, and a lot of niggas fuck with soft niggas, and I ain't like that. So those would be the niggas that if I noticed you was a bully, you be the nigga I picked a fight with. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's like I'm in there, I see Killer, this thing gets smacked in the face with the tray. And I'm like, yo, niggas is falling. They lock us down right there. The riot squad come, the goon squad come. The niggas come with the shields. They maced everybody. Fucked us all up. Had me fucked up. Right? Put us in the cell, locked us down for like 4 days. Locked down, my nigga. Mind you, we already in the punishment pot. Locked us down. No movement for 4 days. Fed in the cell, no showers, nothing. I mean, they tell you they got to give you a shower every other day, but if you ever been in there, you know that niggas do what the fuck they want, man. You know what I mean? And it's like these niggas. Hold on, I'm reading the comment. So yeah, it is a total different animal in prison. And I try to tell people that, and it's like I'm in there, I'm smoking weed, I'm fighting niggas, I'm gambling, I'm just in there wilding. Before you know it, a bunch of niggas in my hood that I used to run with, they all in there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? It's like a bunch of people I used to run with on the street that are all my age, a little bit older, they all end up in there with me. And I'm like, yo, so now we really in there wilding. We're all on different cottages. Niggas is going to SEG on purpose just to get out of SEG and end up in the ghetto with me. Cause I'm in the ghetto, you know, that's the disciplinary about the ticket block. So you got to go to SEG to go there, or you can get a ticket and go there. But a lot of the times, if you get a ticket, you don't go to SEG. They leave you where you at, and they just put you on what's called CDQ, confined to quarters. In other words, you don't come out your cell. You got no phone, no comedy. You still got the same punishment, but they wrap it all up into one thing. So, and then when they give you CDQ out of the four, out of like your phone calls, rec, commissary, it's phone calls, rec, commissary, and something else. So out of them four things, they take three of them from you. And when you're on CDQ, you and you not going to SAG, because I've seen them do it to people, they let the people pick the three that they want to get taken away. You know what I mean? So it's just like that in the streets. Yeah, sometimes certain streets. You know what I mean? So I never ran blocks. I never did that. I never did that in prison. I never I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't on that type of wave because I ain't no bully. I don't do those. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know about where other niggas is from. You know what I mean, I don't know about other states. I don't know about Rikers Island. I don't know about St. Quentin. I don't know about Clinton. I don't know about none of that. Right. All I know is that in my state, if you coming in there, I don't care how big you is in height. I don't care how much weight you lift. I don't care the size of you. Right. You come in there and try to run the phones. This nigga that's doing 100 years is gonna stab you in your face. You know what I mean? That's how that shit gonna work. And the nigga doing 100 years will probably be some 4'7" nigga that weighs 100 pounds. Cause that nigga doing 100 years. And the only thing he got to look forward to is that phone call. So I ain't never really seen nobody saying can't nobody use the phones because the prisons that I was at, it was a lot of people that just was doing football numbers. So you didn't have that kind of energy. You didn't see that. You're right. But remember that phone could fuck you up in more than one way. Cause you could be on the phone all the time and you'll be because what people don't understand about prison, that's a different life. That's a different world. You know what I mean? So when you were locked up, your street mentality, your street mind, whatever's going on in the streets, you got to leave that in the street. You know what I mean? You got to put your mind in that prison, what's in front of you. Never mind what's happening in the streets because that shit will drive you crazy. You'll be stressed out, and before you know it, that time is doing you. You know what I mean? You got to do the time because if that time doing you, it's gonna be bad. Trust me, because I could sit back and I could remember being in prison for mad consecutive years and being like, damn, it's already done been 3 years. That shit went by fast as hell. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about prisons. I don't like dorms. I don't that's too much noise for me. I can't do that shit. I'm a fucking somebody up. My first night, some nigga over there talking, I'm pulling that nigga off his bunk. You know what I mean? So I be in the cell a lot. Growing up, I was always in the cells. I think they put me in the dorms twice. That's why I was stuttering. I was trying to remember because I remember once. So that's what it was. They put me in a regular dorm once, and I think I lasted like a day. The next morning I got in a fight and it didn't last. But the second time it was like an overflow. The prisons was mad packed, so they had like little like janitor closets that they turned into dorms where it was like 12 to like 20 people. You know what I mean? And I lasted in that shit for not a long period of time until I went to SEG. I can't do dorms. I don't. Being in prison got me with that PTSD. I don't really like being around people too much. I mean, I didn't see too much wild shit in prison because, like I said, I know niggas in the streets that are straight murderers. They go to prison, the niggas is bitches. But then I know niggas that's in the streets that they not the toughest, but in jail, in prison, them niggas is stand up niggas because they know how to fight. You know what I mean? Like I done seen the wildest shit, man. I done seen two people that used to shoot at each other in the street go to prison and be mad cool. And when I'm talking about weird shit, like I could throw myself in that situation. There was me and this dude, I didn't realize how much older he was than me, but me and this nigga used to shoot at each other. You know what I mean? I was about 14. I thought this nigga was about 15, but when I was 14, this nigga was 19. I didn't know how much older he was until later on in life. But yeah, me and this nigga, we got cool in prison in my 20s and shit. And yeah, it's some weird shit in prison. You know what I mean? It's just some weird shit. But it's like back to the story. So I see this nigga get smacked in the face with the metal tray. They lock us down. My father can't come see me. So now I've been locked up about, out of the 14 months I'm doing, I've been there about a year. Yeah, about 13 months, going on 13 months. Yeah, yeah, no, I was there a year, almost 13 months, yep. Because at 13 months, they try to ship me to like a outside clearance part of the prison. And it was another part of the prison, it was somewhere else. That cottage was like off the direct property. It was some fucking weird. I don't even remember how to get there, but it was some fucking weird. So I'm there and I'm in this outside clearance, my nigga. I'm there for like, I get there like at 8 in the morning. I don't even make dinner. I'm in SAG. Niggas in there on some different type of time. Them niggas, cause I guess over there you're not in the cell, like your cell's open all day. You can walk in and out your cell all day. They got a washing machine, it's outside clearance. So what that mean is, when you outside driving on the highway, you see them niggas picking up garbage, that's outside clearance. Them niggas is cleared to be outside clearance. You know what I mean? So them niggas really like hold on to their little bit of freedom. You know what I mean? So I'm in there trying to smoke weed. These niggas is like going to tell the COs that I'm in there smoking weed and shit. Nigga, I had to fuck a nigga up. Some wild shit, yo. Like, I just don't condone that snitching shit. Not like that. You know what I mean? Not on that type of time. So now I'm about to come home. I'm an outside clearance. I get pushed back to SAG. The niggas is like, yo, they want to move me. They want to move me to punitive SAG. Like, they want to move me to like discipline. Because they're like, yo, you catch your tickets back to back to back. But then they see how much time I got left. Because I remember him saying, oh, you only got 45 days to discharge, to EOS, to end of sentence. EOS is end of sentence. So I remember the disciplinary board telling me, oh, you only got 45 days. So nigga smoked me. Nigga gave me 17 days of sag. Nigga smoked my boots. You know what I mean? So then after I did the 17 days, the nigga pushed me back in the ticking block, and a little while later I went home. And that was like my first bid, yo. I was 16. I was in the prison. Like that wasn't no jail because I skipped the county. I was in the county for like 9 months. I was in the youth tier, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was 16, man. 15, I was locked up. 14, I was locked up. 16, I was locked up. I came home 17. I got locked back up at 17 to 18. I came home from 18. At 18, I came home. I came home right after my birthday. I came home, it was like summertime. And then of of September of 1999, I got my boots smoked. I got 4 years. I was 19 years old. They gave me 4 years for a sale. You know what I mean? The nigga smoked my boots. And it was like, even then, when I was doing them 4 years, I came home on parole for 42 days and caught a drug factory case. I mean, I grew up in prison selling drugs, man. I grew up in prison in and out selling drugs, man. And it's like, and you know what's crazy? That's the hood I be at. It's called the jungle. Well, back then, because the projects is knocked down, but it's a concrete jungle out here, man. It's either eat, it's either predator or prey, man. You know what I mean? And it's like and mind you, that's only 16. That was only the bid from 16. You know what I mean? Right now I'm 40 years old. I've been home. This is the longest I ever been out of prison. Since I was 14 years old, 15 years old, straight. I think I've been out right now almost 5 years straight. It's about to be 5 years straight right now. This is the longest I've ever been out at one time. Prior to this now, the longest I've ever been out of prison at one time was 6 months. I was on like a cycle. It didn't matter if I did a year in prison, I come out 6 months, I'm back. I could go to prison for 3 or 4 years, come out 6 months later, I'm back. It was like I was on a 6 month cycle. Like that was the longest. I remember one time, I was young. I was like 17. There was this bondsman around my way that was a lick. So you call this bondsman, you get this nigga some fire coke, he take you out. So there was this one like 10-day period that I got arrested like 6 times. Like the cops just kept fucking with me. They kept arresting me for a blunt. I had a dime of weed on me, a blunt another time, driving without a license. I was 17 years old type shit. And this nigga just kept arresting me, kept arresting me. And this nigga kept getting me. And then at 17, what was the last one? It was some dumb shit. It wasn't even like a serious case. It was just some dumb shit. I was 17 years old, and the problem was that I had like 8 cases of dumb shit, and I was out on bond on 7 of them. So them niggas ended up giving me like 9 months to 10 months at 17. So I came out 16. I was home for like, I think that time I was only home for like 2 or 3 months. And then I went right back for 9 months. And then I came home for like 4 months. And then I caught the 4 years at 18. And then that's when when I go in at 18, now I'm at my fattest. Because, you know, they weigh you, they check you, all this shit. I'm at my fattest. I'm over 400 pounds. Now, in them 4 years, I was out there running. You see how Tazo be with that plastic bag? I was on some shit like that. I had garbage bags. I would be 3 pairs of socks on each foot, boots. I would have on a pair of sweatpants. Well, I put on some boxers, some shorts, bags over my legs, each one of my legs, put on sweatpants, no, put on thermals, then put the bags, then put on sweatpants, then put some more bags, then put another pair of sweatpants. Then on the top, I would put a t-shirt on, put a bag, put another t-shirt on, put another bag, put another t-shirt on, put another bag. Then I'd put 2 sweaters on, put another bag, put another sweater on. Mind you, it's summertime, and I'm going out to the rec yard, running the track, playing basketball with all that shit on. And it took me quite a few years to burn all that shit down. But it took me a while, but I got all the weight off me running in prison. True talk. What's going on, man? What you mean, fuck these people on YouTube? What happened to YouTube? What people got to do with it that you saying fuck all of them? You know what I mean? But it's like, nah, Tazo, I was over 400 pounds. So now you bringing it back to when I was like 18, 19, 20. Nah, because I think at 20, it had already got it down to like 350 by like 20. Because at first, I wasn't trying to run a track. Like, I'm fighting my case. I'm smoking weed. I'm in the county. I'm fighting. I'm not. I mean, I didn't try to start losing weight until I got the 4 years. And when I took the 4 years, I had already been down 7 months. A little bit over 6 months, but under 7. It was right around there. I mean, so I went and, running, man, my knees was hurting, my back was hurting. And coincidentally, that bed, the bed we referring to then, was the only time I ever took a flu shot. Coincidentally, it's the only time I ever caught the flu. Ain't that something? But yeah, I could get into another little story. All right, so since I brought up my god brother once, I'm gonna bring up another little story when I ran back into him. So now we was in a max. He's still at the max. So now this is mad years later because the story I just told you, we were youths. So now, remember how I told you I was doing them 4 years? I came home 42 days on parole and I caught a drug factory case. So this time they sent me to the prison, to the max. So I'm in the max. I got my TV and everything. I'm in there. And I'm going to chow. I told you they treat us like your dog. So every time it's time to eat, it's chow time. It's you hear chow time. Fucking hate that shit. So one day I'm walking up to chow and I see my god brother, the one that's doing 100 years. That's when he told me that my godmother spent mad bread and got his shit knocked back to 75. So now I know in the process of now 2020, he's trying to get like another 10 years. If he could get 20 more years knocked off, his 75 will be 55. And right now he's been down almost 30. You know what I mean? Because he's been in jail since he was 15 and he's a year older than me and I'm 40. Think about that. He's 41, about to be 42, been in prison since he was 15 for killing 4 people. You know what I mean? So I see the nigga and, it's all love, B, because he's my family. It's just, it's crazy because when you grow up in prison like I did, you come to a point in life where I call it institutionalized. This is what I mean by that. Being in there, it makes it, how do you say? And I was in there so much, it didn't bother me going back. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me. It didn't make it harder for me. It made it easier for me. You know what I mean? What became, I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. What became a hard task for me was living out here, staying free. I couldn't figure it out. Like when I was in prison, I felt at home. It's some weird shit. When I was in prison, I used to feel like I was at home. But when I was out, when I was in freedom, when I was free, I felt out of place. It was some crazy shit. Like I didn't know how to function in society. So I felt out of place. You know what I mean? Mind you, this is back in the days where everybody know you. You know what I mean? Everybody know you a felon. The cops all know. This is the days where you know what it is. The social media ain't out there. None of that shit is popping. Social media is basically word of mouth, you know? And it's just, it took me a whole lot of years and a whole lot of prison time to get where I'm at today. You know what I mean? So, of course, I don't like talk about prison. I spent a lot of time in prison. I seen a lot of wild shit happen in prison, man. I mean, a lot of wild shit. I know another nigga at another prison term. I was in this prison that used to be the big prison in Connecticut, the one where they executed the last dude. That used to be the big prison back in the day. That was the max, but now it's just like it's not the max no more. but it's a max medium max. It's not a full max no more. So now I'm in this prison. This motherfucker got bars, legit bars, right? I'm in that motherfucker, and I watch a nigga. Well, I couldn't see him, but a nigga right next to me killed his cellie in his cell. You know what I mean? Blood coming all out of his cell into my cell. Yeah, I done seen some mad wild shit in prison, man. Mad wild shit, yo. I done been through mad wild shit in that motherfucker. I done made a lot of connections. I done got cool with people. Like, it's crazy because I done got cool with some of the niggas that, honestly, I'm gonna be 100, man. Just about every single murderer that I ever met in prison was cooler than half of the motherfuckers out here that claim to be killing everything. Some weird shit. All the niggas in there that are doing, like, I know these other two dudes, they're brothers. They're from Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's right next to New York. It's probably like an hour, 45 minutes from New York. I know these two brothers in their early 20s, right? One got 42 years and the other one got 55 years. And they're brothers. And I think they're only like 2 years apart. They're murderers. And when I met these niggas, right, me and these niggas is playing basketball and shit. Me and these niggas is arguing, talking shit about football, all kinds of shit, right? Other niggas is like, yo, you don't know who you talking to? I'm like, nah, the niggas I play basketball with. And then the niggas tell me who the fuck they are. You know, I'm like, oh, so the cells pop. I go talk to these niggas. It's rec time. We not outside. We just got regular tier rec. I go holler at these niggas. I sit these niggas down. And I'm like, yo, mind you, we the same age. But, you know, now I'm in my 20s. So, you know, I grew up in prison. These first time these niggas in, they only been in about 2 years at the time. So, you know, I got a lot of demeanor and I fuck with a lot of gang members, but I'm not a gang member because, you know, real ones respect the real one and niggas see I'm a real one. And I stand up on my own. You know what I mean? And it don't matter what the numbers look like. I'm standing up for me. I don't give a fuck if there's 100 of y'all. Y'all niggas gonna have to take, y'all can fuck me up. You know what I mean? The niggas seen that. So I'm hollering at these two black niggas. I can't even call them little because these one was like 6'3", the other one was 6'4". Like, I'm only 6 feet. These niggas is bigger than me and all that. So I'm talking to these niggas, and these niggas bring out their paperwork, and I read their cases. And I'm like, yo, the shit blew my mind. One killed the nigga, and his younger brother, so the older brother killed the nigga, and the nigga that he killed, his baby brother, that was a boy, like a young kid, a young boy, and I'm talking about young. I'm talking about under 8. He was young. So the nigga, the older brother killed this dude. The dude he killed, his little brother seen him. So the younger brother went and killed the little boy. And both of these niggas is basically doing the rest of their life in jail, but in prison. But when you talk to these niggas, if you didn't know that fact, you would have never thought that both of these niggas is murderers. Never in your life would you even thought that these niggas are never coming out of prison. Never in your life. The way these niggas talk, they're humble, they're cool, they're nice. I mean, like they were real peaceful, breaking up problems. There wasn't anybody who had an argument that would try to break the arguments up. It was just some like crazy shit, man. I'm telling you, man, I got a lot of crazy prison stories. I don't like talking about it. I don't like glorifying it because I'm not trying to have some young boy or girl watch my videos or listen to my content, watch my video and think that going to prison is cool, or going to prison, being locked up, getting arrested, that's part of life. Like it's a rite of passage, or like that's the thing to do, or like you're a nerd if that doesn't happen. Like it's not what I want. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody else to grow up like I did. I don't want, you know how hard it is to get a career at 40 when you got felonies from 16 that these fucking motherfuckers don't let go of. I don't want nobody else dealing with that. You know what I mean? That's not the type of life I want for somebody else. Just because I've been through it don't mean somebody else have to go through it. I'd rather you gain the knowledge of me going through what I went through so you don't have to. You know what I mean? Because when I grew up, people around my way, they didn't teach me right from wrong. They taught me wrong from right. What I mean is these niggas taught me how to cook up crack, bag up crack, sell crack, drive cars, run from the police. Fuck all this, fuck all that. The cops are the bad guys. That's how I grew up. I grew up like, of course, the cops are the bad guys. Whenever they came around, they take the people you know and you wouldn't see them again. That's the bad guy. That's how I grew up. You know what I mean? Not until like basically eighth or ninth grade that I really started to, because my grades were always A's. I mean, like intellectually, like educational ones, I was always up to par. I mean, I just didn't get along with other students, like we was poor. You know what I mean? Like we needed money. Like we was poor as fuck. And my family in Puerto Rico, they about that shit. You know what I mean? My family in Puerto Rico, they with that illegal shit all the way. I don't even have too many cousins in Puerto Rico that work. They're all in that life. I got cousins and aunts and uncles that are in their 70s and 80s, and they're in that life still established with, you know what I mean? And that's a cycle that I'm not trying to push that. I don't want that. That's why I don't talk a certain way on my videos. I mean, that's why I don't be up here with that type of energy, because I don't want somebody else to see that and think that that's the way to go. That's the cycle I'm trying to break. You know what I mean? Like you said, each one teach one. You know what I mean? Like you said, educational purposes. You know what I mean? Like I ain't had nobody to educate me like that. Not on that type of shit. You know what I mean? I had to learn everything the hard way by my damn self. I mean, this was the problem that I had with Hassan Campbell when he was talking about, oh, I didn't want to deal with my mom beating me, so I ended up over here and over there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, little nigga, when I was your motherfucking age, I was locked up in a cell with a nigga never coming out of prison. The fuck is you talking about? You didn't want to deal with your mom whooping your ass, so you found yourself. Nah, I can't relate to that. Because at your same age, when you was in that position, I was in a worse position. I was locked up with convicted murderers, motherfuckers that killed their parents, motherfuckers that kill people. You know what I mean? That's convicted for that. People my age, people older than me. I'm not talking about no street shit where you just have a rumor or whatever the case may be. We talking about convicted murderers. It's a different story when you're a convicted murderer and you're in prison doing the rest of your life with nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So when he was saying that type of shit, I felt like, damn, bro, what you trying to tell all these little kids that's 15, 14, and their moms is trying to direct their life in the right way? This is why they're yelling at them, probably punishing them, beating their ass because they want them to make better decisions in their life. What you telling that little boy to run? Nah, man, that's not what's up. I don't want nobody to grow up in prison the way I did it. I don't want no kids to get abused. None of that shit, man. Like you see how these people, how these rich motherfuckers, they send their kids to private school. They put their kids in a perfect position to win. It's like we put our kids in perfect positions to get knocked off by that other kid. It's almost like they got us to be in competition with each other to the point that we want our kids to be in competition with your kids. It's some crazy shit. The system got us fucked up. You know what I mean? But this was just my first prison story. I don't know. Maybe if I get more requests for these, maybe I'll do them. Maybe I won't. I don't really like talking about this shit. That's why my tone is the way it is. I'm not trying to glorify this for educational purposes only. But trust me, I got hella more prison stories, man. I've been to mad prisons, all kinds of shit, man. True talk, man. I done seen the CO get beat up at a Supermax. I forgot about that. So I watched two COs get beat up at two different prisons. Yeah. I met one nigga. I met one nigga in prison, right? With a with his face tattooed with a whole nother face on top of his face. Some crazy shit. But yeah, man, salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody watching, man. It's just, people been asking for that. People been asking. They've been asking for that. that prison story. You know what I mean? So I just try to accommodate what my viewers would like, man. What my subscribers ask for because it's for y'all. Because granted, I'm not gonna go all the way and say I don't care about the views. I do care about the view, but what I care more than the view is the information getting out. Why? Because if you don't view it, then the information don't get out. I need you to view it so the information could get out. If there's no view, the information don't get out. But my priority is to get the information out. I don't care if you repeat the story out of your own way. If you saving a young kid that I couldn't even get at, then salute to that. That's what's more important to me. I don't really care so much about the credit because I'm just tired of people growing up in prison like I did, man. Salute to you, Rose Gold. I mean, you missed the whole story, brother. It's talking about all kinds of my first jail stint. Because what you don't know, Rose Gold, is that I grew up in prison, man. I'm 40 years old. I've been out of prison now almost 5 years. And this is the longest I ever been out of prison since I was like 13, 14. I've been getting locked up. I actually caught my first time I ever got arrested. I was 12. I got caught with a quarter pound of weed when I was 12. That wasn't back in 1992. So, you know, that shit was AZ like a motherfucker, straight reggaeton. Straight daddy Yankee, reggaeton like a motherfucker. Y'all know, I don't know how old y'all niggas is, but back in the day, there was only one kind of weed. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, there was only one kind of weed in the 90s. I remember about 97, 96, the dro, the chocolate, the skunk and all that shit dropping out 16 cents. I remember all that, but we're not talking about that. You know what I mean? But I remember smoking prison. I remember smoking marijuana in prison. True shit. I was just hard headed. I just didn't care. Hold up, man. There's some fire trucks coming through. I'm not joking. Let y'all hear this shit. Hear the horn, hear the sirens. I wasn't joking. Yeah, but hey, yo, Rose Gold, man, I want to talk to you about something real quick because you said something in one of your videos, and I'm gonna put you on to why people don't do it. You said in one of your videos, you was like, "Yo, that's a good idea, man. Play the music coming in on the line." I'm gonna put you on to what these people don't want to tell you, all right? Because I like to put niggas on the game. I like to put everybody at the best position to succeed. Hold up, there's another fire truck. I know y'all hear me. Damn, I hope whoever shit is on fire, I hope they all right. All right, so check your Rose Gold. Excuse me. Excuse me, I just burped and hiccuped at the same damn time. At least I didn't big pun it, snore, fart, and sneeze. Nah, but Rose Gold, back to you. The reason why people don't put music in their videos is because let's say God forbid, and I say God forbid for a reason. Let's say you play some anybody's music in the beginning of your video, right? And let's say you say some real shit, and let's say your video goes viral, right? When you pass 1,000, your video, when you get monetized, you can get commercials, you can get money off of that viralized video, but you won't get nothing because of that music. It's a copyright infringement. So now you get it. That's why people don't be playing that music like that because that shit is copyright infringement. That shit fucks with your shit. But this is another part to that people won't tell you. If you paying your own music that you own, then you good money. But like as far as like playing some Jay-Z shit, you can get copyright infringement for that. And like let's say if that video tries to make money in the future, you won't see nothing off of that because of that copyright. You know what I mean? But that's the only reason why you don't see too many people doing that shit, Rose Gold. That's the only reason. Because I seen you say something in one of your videos, and I don't think nobody ever said nothing back. But that's the only reason why people don't really do the music in their videos because you don't ever know what'll happen. Today you might be spitting something that you just feel is in the moment, and who knows, a year from now you might get 20,000 people that are going through that same situation now, and your video comes up and boom. You know what I mean? Now you got 20, 30, 40,000 views on this video that you could be making money off of. But since you were playing Jay-Z song, guess what? All that money goes to Jay-Z and YouTube. You You know what I mean? I ain't trying to bang on you. I'm just trying to put you in the best position to win, brother. That's it. I want us all in the best position to win. What's popping? Talk to me. Write it down in the comment. But yeah, man, because being in prison, man, I know I got a lot of motherfuckers that I grew up with that I fuck with hard body that are never coming home. These niggas are never gonna be free. And I don't mean like 8 or 9. I mean like 20 or 30. I know quite a few motherfuckers that's never coming home. You know what I mean? And it's like nowadays we gotta use everything we can as a benefit to make us win. You know what I mean? And for some of us, YouTube gonna make us win. Some of us, going out there and getting that job, that's how you win. Some of us going out there taking care of your family, getting at that career, that's how you win. You know what I mean? Because the way this government got us set up, this government got us set up to lose. This government got us set up to fight each other and to lose. Like this person just come in not knowing what's going on. You know what I mean? That's how the government got us set up to be negative and fighting each other all the time. That's what they want. Think about it. If one nigga kills another nigga, that's a less nigga they got to deal with. That's how they look at it. That's why in all the projects and all the hoods, there's package stores everywhere. That's why in the hood, you can walk around the corner, get a gun, and go shoot somebody. Think about it like this, man. I seen Cali 26 play a video of some chick that's get to pick her own prison. She got sentenced, she gets to pick her own prison. White lady. And give you another known fact. Cali 26 put up another video. These two boys. These niggas was fucking their 12-year-old sister and got her pregnant. These two white boys was fucking their 12-year-old sister and got her pregnant. I'm gonna say that a third time. These two white boys was fucking their 12-year-old sister and got her pregnant. They're down with a cult family. They're in his state. He's from St. Louis, which is in Missouri. These white occult family in Missouri, these two boys that got arrested for fucking their 12-year-old sister and getting her pregnant, didn't even go to prison. This shit just happened. This nigga just did a video about it like yesterday or today, talking about that the prosecutor said that they're afraid of the treatment that these two boys were going to get in prison for fucking their 12-year-old sister. Not being racist, just a fact. People say that the 14th Amendment amended the 13th. And I tell niggas, no, we have more than enough proof to show you that the 13th is there because it's meant to stay there. Because the 13th Amendment got us all non-white people as 3/5 of a man. The only people in the United States of America that are whole are white people. They are 5/5 of a man. They're the only ones. And again, I'm not being racist because not all white people are racist. You know what I mean? But these are facts. They say that the 14th Amendment cleaned up the 13th. Well, if you want to go at it with that biased thinking, wouldn't you think that if the 13th Amendment was so fucked up, I would take the 13th out instead of making a 14th to clean up the 13th? No. This is why if you go to court and a white person goes to court, they show that white person more leniency because he's 5/5 of a man. You can be a white woman married to a white man with 3 or 4 kids and go get on state and get full benefits, get food stamps, get Section 8, get everything. Let me see you try that as a black or a Hispanic woman with your man in the house. You know what they say to us? To get Section 8, you can't have a man in your house. You got to be single. To get food stamps, you have to be single. But as a white family, you can jump on state and get full state benefits. But as a minority, it has to be a single parent home. The home has to be broken. So I went back because I try to tell people that the United States makes the black man unattractive. And this is what I meant by that. If you remember back in the days, only the white male, not even female, white male got the jobs that paid you the most money hourly, right? Then it became the males. So then we got a black man and a white man. They're both doing the same job, but the white man get paid more than the black man. You know what I mean? So now the black man go home, he's struggling, can't pay the bills. Shit is rough. Him and his wife, they're having arguments now because shit is rough, because 90% of the friction in household homes and urban communities is a financial thing. It just bleeds to everything else. You know what I'm saying? So now they're always fighting. There's a package store on every corner. They got it set up for you to be drunk all the time. So what did the Black Panther Party do? They try to govern themselves. What did the Black Panther do? They created what is known today as WIC. Today, you know that as WIC. You as a baby probably got fed off for WIC and never even knew that that's a program that the Black Panthers started. The Black Panthers used to walk the streets with weapons to govern themselves. The Black Panthers used to knock on all the doors of the neighborhoods to bring the kids to school, to educate them themselves. The Black Panthers actually had a pantry where they would feed you from. And if you didn't have a car, they would bring you your groceries. If you were at work, they would bring them to you. They would help you. And it didn't matter if you were single or not. If you was a black man in that household, they would take you out that household and try to teach you and educate you and try to help you to go get a job. Then the U.S. government came in, deemed them as terrorists and broke up the Black Panther Party, but kept their program and gave it a government name and called it WIC, which is what it was called then. But they dubbed it like if they created it, the U.S. government. Get what I mean? So you as a non-white person, the only way you can get any type of assistance is if you're in a broken home. But if you're clearly a full white family, you can get any public assistance you want. These are facts. It's not an opinion. That's a fact. If you go look up the welfare, the state assistant numbers, you'll see that there is way more white people getting public and government assistance than any other race combined. It's a fact. Another fact, they'll tell you that the Bible took place in all these places, but they never tell you that all them countries are inside the continent of Africa. Another fact. It's just, these are facts that the government has these laws set up for kids to be in the urban neighborhoods to get arrested by 16 and have felonies that affect you to your 40s. This is why I praise a brother like Tazo so much. We need younger brothers like that. If you see a young man with his gun license, you need more of them young men because that's America's nightmare. A young man strapped legally with brains to back it. That is America's nightmare. Right there. A black, smart young man with a gun that's legal. A smart, young Puerto Rican man that's strapped with a gun that's legal. Smart intellectual men from the ghettos with license to carry weapons. It's America's nightmare. That's the one thing they don't want. Believe that. I don't care what corner of the state you in. I don't care what state in the country you're in. These are facts. And it's not all white people are racist. I keep trying to say this over and over again. But that 1%, then just some racist motherfuckers. And they so ahead of the game that they changed it from color and creed to finance and class. So in other words, it's still about black and white. But if you have a certain amount of money, you can cancel out your black for a certain amount of way. They'll partially treat you like you're white. They'll treat you something like you're Jay-Z or something. They'll open some doors for you because you got a bunch of money. You know what I mean? These is facts. I tell everybody when looking into the history, take your personal opinion, take your personal feelings out. Because I'm going to be 100 with you. I'm all Puerto Rican. I'm American, but I'm Puerto Rican. My bloodline goes back to the island. But looking back into history, take my personal feelings out. And I truly think that the black man is the original man. I really think that the black man has a superior DNA. The black man is Adam. You know what I mean? The first man to walk on earth was black. You know what I mean? So when motherfuckers want to come to me talk about this Republican Democrat bullshit, nigga, left wing, right wing, same motherfucking bird. If you don't know about your fucking history, is that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party was created by the same people. Them niggas went and created one party, moved over, created the other party. It's the same people. So what I try to tell people about the Republicans and the Democrats is that they down with the same gang. They're just two different sets because they're selecting who we can elect, and there's no power in the election. They're selecting two people that we have to choose from that's either bad or worse. Get that? We have to pick between Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Two both racist motherfuckers. Joe Biden been out there since back in the day with the racist shit. If you don't know, go do your history check. Joe Biden was one of the first people in Congress to sign up for segregation. If you don't know what segregation is, that's back in the days when they wanted to try to mix the schools, and he was totally against that. He wanted the blacks over here and the whites over there. That's how far back his racism goes. So when you're talking about, oh, he's for the black people, man, that is for fucking front. He showed you his true colors back in the day. Joe Biden is racist. They're all racist. They are picking two people that both fill their agenda for us to choose from. They're selecting who we can elect. And the two people that they have selected, we have to elect between bad and worse. There's no power in the election. The power is in the selection. They are selecting who we can elect. That's where the power is. You know what I mean? So it's like when people come to you with this mixed up history that the snake, because remember, the United Snakes of America, what they don't want to make you understand is history is only his story. History, break down your word, his story. Who is he, you might ask? He is whoever won the war. Think about that. So if I'm a country and you're a country and I come take your country over, right? First thing I'm gonna do is kill your democratic system, your government, your education. I'm gonna kill all that, right? And 20 years from today, whatever kids are born, they're only gonna know what I have set in place. His story, history. How much shit? How many times did you go to school and they tell you Christopher Columbus discovered America? And then the very next chapter, they told you they were Indians. You were too young to understand that he couldn't discover sign if there were Indians already there. That's your first lie they taught you. You know what I mean? That's just to show you how far back the lies go. That today everybody wants to fight to take down these Christopher Columbus statues. You know what I mean? To the point that where we need to stick together, but there's still people that want to be in the chats coming in a negative way. How many times have I told you, if you see that you like to troll, because you're a troller, you know exactly who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. You a troller. Yeah, you. Right now you're looking at yourself like me. Yeah, you, nigga. You, motherfucker. You. You like to troll. Haven't you seen already what's going on with other people that were in your position? They stopped coming negatively. They're on the positive. They're on the positive, right? And now look, all their views is coming up, right? But nah, your little simple-minded ass want to keep with the negative trolling. Go ahead, brother, because you ain't getting nowhere. Nowhere. That's that entitlement. You better cut that entitlement shit the fuck out. Because I don't know who the fuck. You must be on some. Yo, I want to talk to y'all and my viewers. I'm about to skip off subject. I got a motherfucker in my chat right now trying to blackmail me. This motherfucker think he dealing with a white person. That's how you can tell this nigga from the suburbs. This nigga gonna say, yo, I made a video about you. Right? I try to be good, but if you don't do some shit, I'm gonna put the video out. Motherfucker, what you waiting for, nigga? I don't know who the fuck you think you get dealing with, nigga. I done had guns in my face that done took them, bro. I don't know how many times I done told you, stop coming negatively. I told you a million times. Put out your content. Stick to your content. Get in people's chats on a positive way. Somebody will relate to you. Before you know, whoever that somebody is, they're gonna put you on their panel, y'all gonna talk, and then you're gonna get subscribers. But no, you wanna be on some negative shit. I done said this shit to like a good 6 different trollers, right? Guess what? They all have panels now, and they all have over 500 subscribers. All of them. You know what I mean? You gotta cut that entitlement shit the fuck out. Yo, don't worry about him. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Some people Some people just grew up in the suburbs so much that they think they entitled to something and they don't understand that life, you're only entitled to one thing in life. Only one thing in life. You understand that, right? The only thing you're entitled to in life is death. That's it. Everything else is an option. Everything else is an option. He seemed like he the type of nigga that'll talk to a girl when the girl don't want to when the girl don't want to have nothing to do with him. He the type of nigga that'll go around telling everybody that the girl got AIDS instead of looking himself in the mirror and figuring out what she didn't like and improving that and making himself more attractive for the next woman. That's what you call a negative Nancy. You know what I mean? Because again, you have content. There's billions, there's however many millions and millions of people on the earth. There is groups of people who think like you. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. If you're listening to this, I'm talking to you. There is other people who think like you. There are other people who've gone through your situations. There's other people that are in your situations. This is why I tell everybody, stick to your content. Keep dropping your content. It'll help if you put something that's more beneficiary to your community beyond more positive shit. But don't be talking shit about people in your content and jump in niggas' chats. Jump in niggas' chats on some positive shit. And before you know it, you're gonna be on the screen on that person's panel. And before you know it, you're gonna be on somebody else's panel and then somebody else's panel. Why? Because you're not being negative. Why? Because you're not being a troll. Nobody wants to troll negative Nancy on their panel. And unlike other people that's not telling y'all this shit, I'm the one dropping the game to you. I'm the one telling you what to do. I'm literally giving you the recipe on how to succeed. You know what I'm saying? I done did it to more than one troller and they popping and they up there on panels. You don't even see these niggas on no negative shit on other people's chats no more. You know what I'm saying? We leaving trolls behind. Why do you think I don't have nobody blocked on my page? Why do you think there's no wrenches here? You know why? Because there's only one troller I have, and everybody knows who you are because you're the only person that trolls my page. You know why? Because I'm not up here talking negative. The only negative energy on my page is you. That's why everybody keeps asking who you are. Why are you this? So now, you know how that shit go. People think that they're entitled to something when they're entitled to nothing. That's the problem now, even with kids. Kids think that they're entitled to them brand new $300 pair of sneakers. You know what I mean? That's what that system does. That system creates division upon division upon division. You got a nigga like this dude in my chat, right? That can't understand how to gain subscribers. And he'd rather keep going at people in a negative way, right? Talk about the definition of insanity, right? He's been on YouTube way longer than me, way before I ever came, right? And I already got more subscribers than him, all right? And he's been in, I'm not even boasting. I'm just trying to give you an example to show you. This dude been on YouTube longer than me, right? I got way more subscribers than him. My videos got more views than him. You know what I mean? I got a video that's almost at 2,000 views right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in people's chats on no negative shit. That's why I got shine. And I bet you probably got a lot to offer. You probably got a lot of knowledge. You probably know quite a bit. But your self-centered ass thinks that, I don't know what you think. You think that trolling is what's going to get you in the game. Brother, you done been on YouTube for how long? Trolling still ain't get you in the game. You better get that shit up. Because if you're going to keep trolling, you just on here wasting your time. You could be out there making money instead of up here trolling, because trolling ain't never going to get you to where you want to go. You know what I mean? The trolling is never going to get you to where you want to go. You know what I mean? Because it took me a minute. I had to grind for my subs. I had to grind. I had to get on like 5, 6, 7 different panels, 8 different panels. I had to tell niggas my story. I had to tell niggas my content. I had to tell niggas. I had to show them. They had to go and check my content out. Like you talking about I'm racist. This dude, his mind is so like a 15-year-old boy. Like I got a video up there that tells you how the Ice Cream Man song is really a part of a song that's called Nigger Love a Watermelon. What's your content about? My content is about how the government got us all fighting each other. What's your shit about? I don't know. Don't nobody know because you're too busy trolling instead of being up here trying to promote your content. See, if you would have came up here promoting your content, you would have probably been up here. You would have probably passed French Dose in his subs. But you a negative person. We don't do those. You know what I mean? So yeah, we have to block him. We don't do negativity. He's a rap. Keep all that negative stuff over there, man. We don't do negativity. But anyways, what's the content, man? I was just telling a story. I had a few people asking me about these prison stories. You know, I grew up in prison. I gave up my first story from when I was 15, and you know, I don't know. That dude, he's a troller. That dude, yo, you can be up here talking about how your wife is having a baby, putting it on video, and he'll tell you that you're lying. That dude, I'm trying to tell that dude how to get onto YouTube. I'm trying to tell this dude how to get subs. I'm telling this dude stop being negative, and maybe he'll get the subs he's looking for. But you know, he one of them little ignorant niggas that you slap the shit out of with a gun, and then after you slap the shit out of him, after he's talking all this big tough guy shit, you slap the shit out that nigga one time, he go call the cops on you. That's the type of nigga he is. He one of them big mouth talkers. The minute you split his wig, he called the cops. He one of them niggas that talk big shit, and then after you beat him up, he plays victim. You leave all that negative shit over there. We don't address negativity. But anyways, I want to shout all of y'all out watching. I want to shout all of y'all in the comments. Ask y'all to hit that like button. I just try to give y'all the content that y'all want. Y'all asked me for the prison stories, so I gave it. I got a whole bunch of more prison stories, but quite frankly, I'd rather not talk about the prison stories because I don't want somebody to feel like I'm glorifying it. I don't want them to think that that's the way to go because we have enough we have enough young black and Puerto Rican men in prison. We have enough black and Puerto Rican females in prison. We got enough minorities in prison. We don't need more of that. We need more young black Puerto Rican we need more minorities in colleges. We need more minorities graduating colleges. We need more minorities in Harvard and Yale and all these Ivy League schools. We need more of that. We don't need more drug dealers. We don't need more robbers. We don't need no more of that dumb shit. That shit dumb as fuck, man. Because in my day, it was called survival. Nowadays, it's called thugging. I don't know. I think that's just the system trying to label it, trying to keep you labeled. So when you have a label, that helps you be more depressed. When you're more depressed, you find yourself making more irrational decisions. You make more irrational decisions before you know it, your life is in more of a fucked up position. And that's not what we want. But this is why I keep trying to tell y'all, have positive thoughts, have positive energy, have positive conversations, have positive situations, have a positive outcome, positive 360 in and out. If you're in the streets and you're in a negative, do a 180. Turn that shit around. You don't want to do a 360 because a 360 is going to put you right back to where you started. Do a 180. Turn away from that. You know what I mean? Because what I try to tell you is that I don't care if you black, I don't care if you Puerto Rican, I don't care if you're Mexican, I don't care if you're Dominican, I don't care what kind of can you are, because we're all different kinds of cans. What I mean is Puerto Rican, African, Dominican, American. We're all different kinds of cans. Don't let this government crush you. You know what I mean? Because all they want is just fighting each other. They want everybody that's in the ghetto to have broken homes. They want all the kids in the urban communities to disrespect their mothers. They want all the kids in the urban communities to get drunk, sell drugs, do drugs, beat up their partners, and leave their kids, abandon their kids. This is what they want. They want us killing each other. This is all things they want. They want us fighting each other. These are all things that they need. This is what makes the system roll. So when everybody's like, yo, the system is broken, nah, brother, you looking at it from the wrong angle. You got to fix them glasses. You're looking at Monopoly as the player. You got to think of Monopoly as the person who made it. The system is meant to keep us fucked up. The system is, what we think is broken to them is functioning fine, like a well-oiled motor in your car. So you think the motor might be messed up because it's making noise, but to them, the system is running perfect because they're getting richer off of our backs, off of our sweat. They getting richer. Think about that. Every dollar, think about it. Every dollar they tax, that's what makes it legal. If you want to be 100, drugs ain't illegal because people are killing people for that. That's not why drugs are illegal. Drugs are illegal because you're not paying taxes on it. That's why it's illegal. I'm not a conscious person. I'm a real motherfucker. Because if a nigga come at me sideways, you know what it is. I ain't no conscious ass nigga. I'm a real nigga. I'm an honest nigga. You know what I mean? It is what it is, ass nigga. I ain't no conscious nigga. I ain't no, because a conscious nigga, they stand for shit that I don't stand for. Because a conscious niggas, they supposed to have a lot of patience. I don't fucking have patience. And if you on some bullshit, I'ma fucking call you out on it. You know what I mean? Salute to all y'all real niggas. Salute to all y'all real ones. Salute to all my subscribers. Salute to all the new subscribers. Salute to all the old subscribers. Salute to all the viewers. Salute to all the commenters. Salute to everybody going through something right now. Salute to everybody who has loved ones in a family right now. Salute to everyone who has a family member who's going through some illness, going through rough times. Salute to everybody who's going through some financial rough times. Salute to everybody who has people who has medical illnesses. Salute to everybody who lost a family member. I just lost a family member. One of my cousins just died a few days ago. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody who's just going through shit, man. You strong. You a strong person. I don't care if you a man or a woman. I don't care if you old or young. I don't care if you black or white. I don't care if you Puerto Rican or Dominican. I don't care if you Mexican or Polish. I don't care if you Canadian or Russian. I don't give a fuck what race you are. You strong. If you walking on this planet Earth right now, you strong. You know what I mean? Everything that goes towards you is just a testament to show how strong you are. You know what I mean? I don't care how fucking hard your life is. You strong. You can handle it. You know what I mean? You can take that. You know what I mean? You can take that hard ass day, ball that shit up, crumple it up, and make that shit into lemonade. You know what I mean? You strong. You smart. You know what I mean? The people don't want you to be strong and smart. They want you defeated. You know what I mean? You don't understand how smart y'all really are. You don't understand how smart we really are, how strong we are. I don't care how hard your life is. Somebody's life is harder than yours. If you think you're having a rough day, imagine the person that's out there homeless. Imagine a kid that's in another country, in a third world country, who don't have nowhere to live. All the experiences you went through, as strong and as smart as it made you, do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Pass that knowledge on to your kids. If you don't have kids, pass that knowledge on to your niece and nephews. Make them aware of the fight that they got coming ahead of them. Make them aware of what's going on. Teach them the things that you wish you were taught. Because if we ain't for us, then who gonna be for we? You heard that right? If we ain't for us, then who gonna be for we? You know what I mean? Like true talk. Why don't they teach chemistry more often? Like why don't they teach you the skills of attaining a job in school? Why are they teaching like why don't they teach us in school the pitfalls of picking the wrong career and still having this debt from going to school, even though you can't do nothing with it? Because just because you went to school to be a teacher, and now school might be obsolete, everything might be online. Now you gotta figure out how to pay that school loan off and get another career. Why don't they teach that in school? But I want to shout all of y'all out, man. I want to shout out all the parents, man, that's here watching this shit, listening. I want to shout out all the children, man. I want to shout out. I want to shout out everybody who's been on YouTube that had a problem with somebody, and you were good enough to squeeze your situation and keep it pushing because ain't nobody past that line where you can't come back from. I want to shout out everybody who's actually trying to do something right in YouTube and in real life, man. I don't care how hard your life is, man. I want to shout all y'all niggas out, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout a nigga out like Tazo that grew up in the struggle. And you see this motherfucker, this nigga grown ass man in his 20s gun license off rip. That means no felonies. This nigga got like 30 different ways of how to make money, videos on 40 different ways how to save you money. Because that's his content. His content could save you money. Shout out to that. Like, come on, B. We need a lot more brothers like that. That's the American nightmare. A young, black, smart motherfucker that's strapped. Because what they don't want to tell you is that if you walk in this earth, you have black in you. I don't care what skin complexion you have black in you. If you take the black DNA strand off of earth, nobody exists. The Spanish DNA isn't in every race. The white DNA is not in every race, but that black DNA marker is in every single race in the planet. It's a fact. Do I enter my comments? What's your question? My opinion, in order to rise as a people, you must do the work. Exactly. We need unity. First, we need unity. People need to unite. People need to understand who the opposer is. People got to understand who the enemy is. If you don't know who the enemy is, you'll never know who to unite with. And everybody's so busy and pointing fingers, pointing fingers. And what people don't understand is that people that are first to blame, they're not even walking the earth today. The people who created that constitution are not walking the earth today. But the people who benefited from it do walk the earth. And they're the ones still benefiting from it, which is why things won't change in this country. Because we don't know what things are like in other countries. We don't know. I don't even know what it's like about here. I mean, for all we know, in Dubai, everything is equal, and racism don't even exist in Dubai. For all I know, but I wouldn't know because I've never been there. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, I don't believe in that because smoking weed affects everybody differently. For you, it might affect you one kind of way, but if I don't smoke weed, I'm gonna kill somebody. Weed gives me patience. Weed might do something different for you. You know what I mean? Weed helps everybody in different ways. When you say people need to stop smoking weed, so do you have a family member who has cancer? You'll notice that they smoke weed so they can have an appetite because that radiation kills their insides. So that appetite gets built up, they get stronger. Now the radiation kills what they're eating and not them. So, I mean, everybody has their own opinion for each and every case, but everybody's case is different. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be so judgmental on somebody's case that you don't fully understand. You know what I mean? But smoking weed isn't for everybody. Smoking weed is for me. Trust me. Because I'd be a whole different person. But anyways, I'm gonna end this live. I've been up for almost 2 hours. I thought it was only gonna be like a 20-minute thing, to be honest. I want to say thank you to all of y'all. I want to say thank you to all. Oh, I'm sorry. So can you write what you are saying? I'm sorry. Maybe I interpret that wrong. Maybe you didn't write it wrong because this is something else I try to tell people about text messages and emails. It's all about how you perceive it. So in other words, you could be saying something politely, but I'm perceiving it in another way. You get what I mean? It's just about the perception. So if you don't mind, Tony Colombo, can you please give us a little insight on what you did mean? Oh, sorry. So now that's again an opinion. You know why? I'm gonna say why it's an opinion. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Have you ever heard of Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan just got over $100 million off of SoundCloud for his videos that he does on YouTube and all this shit. And he's on YouTube smoking weed with Tesla. He's on YouTube smoking weed with mad people during his interview, smoking weed with them. Get what I mean? And let's say you, Tony Colombo, you have a platform, right? And you're smoking weed on your platform. right? Because you know, weed is in its prohibition. And I don't know if you know, weed has already been decriminalized federally. It just happened within the last 30 days in the middle of the night. It's already decriminalized across all 50 states. So in a little while, you're going to be able to buy marijuana in a store like you can do alcohol. Marijuana is going through its own prohibition. So if you have a platform and you're smoking weed on your platform after the prohibition is done, for all you know, you might have a marijuana that's like Heineken that's willing to come sponsor you. So, but again, everybody has their own opinion. I mean, because my father right now today, he does not approve of marijuana. It doesn't matter if it's legal or not. It doesn't matter if marijuana becomes legal in 2 years. He's still gonna look at it the same way. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, though. But we've been on for 2 hours. I want to thank y'all for sticking with me. Hit that like button. I want to thank y'all for all comments. I mean, salute, Emmanuel Mills. I want to thank y'all for showing up, and I want to salute all of y'all, man. I want to salute to all of y'all parents, or your mothers, your fathers. I want to salute to y'all if y'all are kids, if y'all adults, if you're parents. I want to salute to y'all if y'all got family members that have mental health issues. I'm salute to y'all who have family members that's in prison. Salute to y'all who are struggling. Salute to y'all who are out on unemployment. Salute to y'all who are out there working tomorrow morning. Salute to y'all who got tomorrow off. Salute to y'all who are married. Salute to y'all who are single. Salute to y'all who are engaged. Salute to, if you alive, salute to you. If you on some positive shit, salute to you. You know what I mean? Because I don't care how hard your day is, it could always be harder. I rock with you too. You know what I mean? Not everybody gonna agree on everything. Trust me. If you ask me, some of my best friends, they don't smoke weed. You know why? Because I don't got to pass it to them. That's just a joke. Nah, but I do like chilling with niggas that don't smoke weed because I don't gotta pass them down. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong if you're a weed advocate or if you're not. Ain't nothing wrong either way. I got mad friends that smoke and mad friends that don't. I went through a lot of years of my life that I couldn't smoke. I was just saying that. The only time I was able to smoke was in prison. You know what I mean? But salute to all of y'all, man. Word up, salute to Lazo, man. Salute to Emmanuel. You know what I mean? It's just we need to we need to open up our brains. We don't people want to say conscious, whatever, man. You got to be more on point to the situation at hand, man. Prioritize shit, man. Figure out what's important to you and stick to the morals, man. You know what I mean? Because, like, I've been through a lot of shit and I don't give too many people too many chances. Yeah, I try to be as stand up and as honest and as fair as I can. I try to help anybody, everybody. You could be in my chat so long that if I think you have enough good shit to say, like somebody like Lazo, he be in the chat so much. We tell that dude, you should have your own channel. You got content. We not haters. We don't hate nobody over here. You know what I mean? I try to uplift everybody. I try to help everybody one way or another. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. If you just need information, I'm going to give you the information. If you need a little bit of redirecting, I'm going to try to redirect. I'm going to try to help. I'm here to help everybody. I mean, because we need to help each other. You know what I mean? Well, what if it's a righteous kill? Let me think about that one. If it's a righteous kill, then he's a righteous killer, then wouldn't he be? But that's an opinion for another time. But that's you do have a good opinion. You did say, I mean, and you are definitely correct. Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. I couldn't have said it any better. It's more than being conscious. Be aware. That's basically what I was trying to get at. Be on point. You know what I mean? Because these motherfuckers want us fighting each other, man. Be on point, man. Speak positivity, man. Speak affirm yourself. If you don't know what affirmations is, look that up, man. They don't want to teach you about that. You know what I mean? For those of you who don't know, go check out what your chakras are. Go clean your chakras. You know what I mean? Try to do a chakra cleanse, a chakra cleansing. True talk. If you don't know what your chakras are, go ask your medical doctor. Go look it up on Google. Literally, ask your medical doctor. Your primary care will tell you what your chakras are. Go clean those. You know what I mean? Stay up, stay safe, man. Love your kids, man. Watch over your kids, man, because there's a lot of predators out here, man. You know what I mean? Care for their education. We got to make our kids smarter. I mean, however smart you were at your kid's age, you should want your kid to be twice as smart as you were at their age, man. You know what I mean? Try to teach your kid everything you know as young as possible so they can learn more. You want your kid to be ahead of you at your age. So if you're 25, wherever you at, you want your kid to be smarter than you and ahead of you when he turns or she turns 25, man. Salute to y'all, man. Stay safe, man. I love y'all niggas, man. I love y'all support, man. I support y'all, man. I love that positive energy, man. Keep, keep, keep that positive energy into the universe. And I promise you, watch how that universe reimburse you with positive energy right back. That's what karma is. Remember that. Don't let nobody ever confuse you and tell you that karma is a bad thing. Karma doesn't know indifferent. Karma is just a reciprocation of what you're feeding the universe. I'll say that one more time. Karma is not a bad thing. Karma does not know indifferent. Karma is just a reciprocation of what you feed the earth. So if you feed in the earth negativity, if you feed in, not really the earth, my bad, universe. So if you feed in the universe negativity, you're going to get negativity. Feed the universe positivity, you'll get positivity. Remember that. Karma is just a reciprocation of what you're feeding the universe. Feed the universe good, you'll receive good. Stay positive, y'all. More positive thinking, more positive conversations, more positive situations, more positive affirmations, positive conversations, positivity, inside and out, 360, man. And stand on it, affirm it. Don't speak against your affirmations and watch. Watch. Watch the universe make reality into what you affirming. Whatever you affirming will become a reality. I promise you. Take all the negative people from around you. Take all the negative energy, conversations, negative thoughts. Keep them away from you, man. Trust me what I tell you, yo. Stay positive, stay up, and I want y'all to stay blessed. I want y'all to be the best y'all could be at whatever y'all doing. So whatever you doing, if you give it an 100%, shut that 100% down. Wake up tomorrow morning and give that shit 500%. Give that shit 1,000,000%. Whatever you do, like Tazo said, give it your all, and imagine how you're gonna flourish. Give it your all. You know what I mean? You gotta be like the way LeBron James was practicing during the COVID, nigga. That nigga was practicing hard while every other team was home relaxing. You know what I mean? It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all brothers, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to everybody watching. Hit that like button, man. If you alive and breathing and you want some positive shit and you know who the enemy is, shout out to you, man. True talk. I just want to give y'all a little bit of information real quick. I want everybody to know this because I don't think a lot of people do. Remember, man, there's two fractions to Black Lives Matter. There's the Black Lives Matter organization, and then there is the Black Lives Matter movement. It stands for two different things. It's two different things. Just remember that. But just remember, fuck the titles and fuck the government. We are the lives that matter. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do this type of shit for people like you, for people like me, anybody else who's on that wave, man. I'm just trying to get the information out. The smarter we are, the stronger we are. It's not about the money. It's about knowledge is power. Remember that knowledge is power. The smarter we are, the stronger we are. Salute to y'all, man. I'm out of here. This is We Are Five Fifths, man. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.